Hello everybody, this will be a tutorial on how to run a regression and create the graph using a TI-83 or 84 calculator. What you need to do is you need to first of all hit the stat menu, and as soon as you hit the stat menu you'll hit edit. You need to enter that data to start with. So I'm just going to make up some data here, but normally you'd pick it off of a table or maybe an experiment that you did. So if I end up getting some data in here, you place some dots into your X, which is L1. Then you move over and you place your other data into L2. And this would be your Y data. And there's a couple options now. First of all, you could look at the data through a graph. Or you could run a regression if you knew what type of regression you wanted to run. What does a regression do for you? A regression creates an equation from the data. So on this data here, I'm going to first of all run a regression, and I'm going to do a linear regression and see how well that fits. So I go to Stat, right arrow is Calculate, and I have a bunch of regressions here starting with number 4. 4 is the linear regression. If you knew your graph fit a parabola, you could do a quadratic regression. If you knew it fit a cubic model, you could run a cubic regression or a quartic. There's lots of things we're going to do throughout the year. ln is logarithmic. exp is exponential. That would be a power regression, logistic, and a sign regression. So I'm going to go back up to linear, which would be number 4. This is usually when where you start. Now with the new operating system, there's not much to choose besides your X list is L1, your Y list is L2. If you put something into L3, you could always change it by hitting second 3, the little blue L3 here. You have an option to do store here, so you could store your regression equation and you can put it into Y1 if you'd like, and I'll do that. So I'll go to vars, right arrow, 1, 1. So once again, I hit the vars button, I hit the right arrow button, and then I hit 2 ones. That'll give you Y1. Let me do that a little bit slower. So you hit vars, you're going to do the Y variables, right arrow, you're going to do functions, 1, and you're going to do Y1. Now you could place it into Y2 if you already had something in Y1, but I'm going to place it into Y1. And then you go down to calculate. Now what this does for you is it runs your linear regression, and it happens to give you the form of 5 and 4.5. 5 is your A, that's your slope. 4.5 is your y-intercept. So y equals 5x plus 4.5 is the equation that fit this model. Fit it pretty well too, because those are nice, pretty decimals. Other than that, sometimes it doesn't give you those nice decimals. Now notice what I did with that Y1, the vars right arrow 1, 1. It placed it already for me into my Y equals. If you neglect to do that, you have a couple options. You can write it down, then use your calculator and type it in, but using the vars right arrow 1, 1 to store it actually makes it nice and right there for you. Now, if you'd like to look at the graph of this model, you can do that. How do you do that? Well, you basically need to do a couple things. Number 1 is you need to turn on your stat plots. You can do that 2 ways. The shortcut is to hit y equals and turn on plot 1. However, first time doing it, you might want to hit second y equals for the stat plot. Hit enter so you can see the details here. Turn it on. You'll want the scatter plot where the dots, these are bar graphs, box and whiskers, other things like that. Make sure you have your X's set up correctly, L1 and L2, and then this is just what the dots look like. The second thing you'll want to do is adjust your window. Normally the standard viewing window is -10 to 10, -10 to 10. Let's look at our data again. Our data, stat edit, is 2 to 5 for your L1, so I'm going to go like 0 to 6. Okay, I could do a lot of different things, but my X's, I'm going to go 0 to 6. My Y's, the smallest is 15, the biggest is 31. So I'm going to go like 10 to 40. Okay, now it doesn't really matter as long as you hit these numbers. So I'm going to go 0 to 6, and I believe I said 10 to 40. Now turning on the stat plot shows you your dots. And doing that vars right arrow 1, 1 when you run the regression actually gives you the best fit line too. So now if I hit graph, I see the dots and the line goes through the dots. Notice it's a best fitting line. That's how you run a regression, get an equation, and you fit the equation to the model. Thank you.